get into the Sermon on the Mount, and we're really getting into like the actual teachings that Jesus is giving, the morality. We have to remember that at the beginning of Matthew chapter 5, Jesus goes up the mountain, he sits down, his disciples gather around him, and he begins to teach them. He's clearly taking on the role of Moses, the new Moses. Moses went up the mountain and gave the people the 10 Commandments. Jesus goes up the mountain and gives the people the 8 Beatitudes. The introduction to the Sermon on the Mount are our guiding principles. These are not the rules, but the main ideas that we're supposed to be incorporating into our moral life. Don't seek the ways of the world, seek the ways of God. The world will tell you to use violence and to fight for what you want. Blessed are the peacemakers. The world tells you that you should accumulate wealth. That's going to make you happy, lots of things. Blessed are the poor in spirit. The world will tell you to fight for what's yours and make yourself big and popular. Blessed are the meek, the humble. And then Jesus tells us if you adopt these Beatitudes, if you become a beatitude to the nations, which is the point, they're going to hate you for it. Blessed are you when they revile you and persecute you and every kind of evil against you falsely because of me. But you are to be salt and light. We only need a little bit of salt. Only a few of you need to get this right. And it'll change the whole dish. It'll give flavor to the whole dish. It'll give light to the whole world. You will enliven all of humanity. And so those are our guiding principles. That's the introduction. Now Jesus gets into the practical, the particular. But he begins it in a very specific way. What does he say? Do not think I've come to abolish the law and the prophets. Not to abolish, but to fulfill. Why does he say that? Well, given the circumstances, him taking on the symbolic role of Moses, and the fact that he's about to quote the 10 Commandments and then expand upon them, we very easily could come to the conclusion, just put aside the old law, and we only need the new law. No, Jesus is saying the old law is good. The old law was necessary. But you guys kind of missed the point. So now I'm just going to tell you the point. And what he's trying to do is not give us a list of do's and don'ts like Moses did. He's trying to help us to understand the way we should be. He's trying to help us understand who we are as humans, as men and women. And if we look to the specifics to what he says, we can get to that guiding principle that pops up in all of the examples he gives. So let's look at them in detail. You have heard that it was said, you shall not kill, and anyone who kills will be liable to judgment. But I say to you, even if you are angry with your brother, you will be liable to judgment. What's that mean? Same punishment. So in the eyes of Jesus, murder and anger. That doesn't seem to square. That's not right. How does he explain it? I really like the example of settle quickly with your opponent while you are on the way to court. That's in that same section. And I think it gets to the idea Jesus wants us to learn. If you've ever been involved in any legal proceeding, whether criminal or civil, if you want a speedy resolution, you are going to have to compromise. Yeah, you might be able to get everything you want and win the case and come out 100% on top. It's going to take 3 years in and out of the courtroom. All sorts of proceedings. But if your goal is to have a speedy resolution like Jesus recommends, without context, he says seek a speedy resolution while you're on the way to court. What's he saying? You got to give something up. You have to let go of something you're holding on to, because of the risk of bad consequences should you lose the court case, and out of love for your opponent and your recognition that your relationship with them is more important than any amount of money you may gain, more important than any rights you may be owed. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you, even if you look at a woman with lust, you have committed adultery with her in your heart. Now this one, and what Jesus says before about being angry with your brother, I hear this all the time in the confessional. Father, I just can't get these angry thoughts out of my head. I just can't stop thinking about this person. These thoughts are really inappropriate, and I don't want to have them, but Father, they keep coming out, and I don't know what to do. So a little insider trading, brothers and sisters. Human beings aren't in full control. We're just not in full control of what goes on up here. I don't want you to think I'm saying thoughts can't be sinful. Thoughts can be sinful. But Jesus isn't telling you to worry about your mental fantasies. He's telling you to watch over them. Why? Think of the example with anger. Every time I see him, he always has something to say. Now I hear he's flirting with my ex, talking to her. That's nice. And I know he's talking to my boss behind my back. I just know he's doing that. I know it. You know what? I'm at my wit's end. I'll just kill him. I'll just kill him. What, that's never happened before? Yeah, that happens all the time. Oh, wow, she's so pretty. When she puts her hair in that one specific way, it just drives me nuts. And when she wears that one dress, I just love it. I know I'm married, but I just can't stop thinking about her. I think I'll just ask her out to coffee. That'll be okay. Just coffee, right? Both different scenarios, but through the same process leads us to sin. That fantasy, that rumination, that obsession. And what's at the core of it? What's at the core of all these bad thoughts? What is Jesus telling us through all of these teachings in this section of the Sermon on the Mount? It's not about you. It's not about what you're owed. Life isn't about what you think you deserve. It's not about you getting recompense for insults in the past. It's not about you experiencing pleasure. It's not about you having a good time. It's about other people and doing good unto them. The minute we start to think that way, it becomes quite easy to settle with your opponent. Because although you might recognize my rights have been violated, I am owed something, I do deserve some legal recompense in this situation, but I can let go of it. Because it's not as important as him. It's not as important as her. You see, what Jesus is getting at in this section on the Sermon on the Mount can very easily fall into legalism. Again, what did Jesus say at the beginning? Unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. What's the issue with the Pharisees? What's the issue with the scribes? They're legalistic. oh yeah, we gave the correct amount of money, and we said the correct prayers, and we did all the things we're supposed to do, and yeah, they're poor, but who cares? Their hearts were stone. Brothers and sisters, Catholics do this all the time, especially during Lent, which begins this Wednesday. Wednesday, I'll be here at 9 in the morning. This church is going to be packed. Get here early if you're coming to that Mass. Because we're going to see a bunch of people we don't see that often. Because they really, really, really want everyone to know that they went to Mass. They want everyone to know that they're Catholic. They're not going to do any of the things Jesus teaches because he hasn't touched their heart. Those same people are going to make sure they don't eat meat any of the Fridays of Lent. They'll obsess about it. They'll talk about it with their friends and how difficult it is to do. It's meaningless. So many people, even good people who come to Mass on Sunday, look at Lent and are like, oh, got to figure out what I'm giving up. Is it going to be chocolate this year? So maybe it's soda, maybe it's booze, maybe I'll exercise more, maybe I'll say some extra prayers. Yeah, you're not required to do any of that. That's not the point. The point is your heart. The point of Lent is conversion, and that's what Jesus is talking about. Do you look at other people that you're not married to as objects for your personal pleasure and fantasize about them? Or do you view them as subjects, as sons and daughters of God, with their own dignity, with their own respect, with their own spouses and their own lives, which you have no right to? Do you ruminate on the way you've been wronged in the past and how others have hurt you and what they owe you? Or do you let go and understand that people are what's important, not things? As we get ready for Ash Wednesday, are you thinking about all the many things that you're going to do throughout Lent and how wonderful it's going to be and how exciting? Or do you hope to be a different person when Easter arrives? Do you hope to have grown throughout these 40 days closer to the Lord Jesus? Or is it just a cultural practice? Meaningless and empty. This Lent, brothers and sisters, we have an opportunity not to fulfill a bunch of checklists, to feel all good about ourselves. We have an opportunity to become who Jesus made us to be, who he teaches us to be. And who are we to be? Those who live for others